these are my favorite albums for February. And I wanted to start off with People Watching from Sam Fender. This is characterized as a Heartland rock album. Now, Heartland rock is a newer genre for me. I'm familiar with some of the big influences and pioneers of this genre, which are certainly going to be Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty. But for me, I would characterize it as mixing elements of country from an instrumentation choice and some of the instruments they use, and then also from a thematic side in terms of the elements of the storytelling they like to use. The messages and the themes they focus on are very similar across both those, and then elements of rock in there. And my journey with it's interesting. While I heard some of the big artists, I actually would say that it was the Killers that introduced me and got me into Heartland rock. As you follow their discography, as time goes on, they introduce more and more elements of Heartland rock into their music. One of those being Imploding the Barrage is probably the one that had the most, but their latest record is called Pressure Machine, and that entire album is Heartland rock. Now this one is so great, so easy to pick up and listen to. It has some great messaging. It expresses some important messages about what it feels like to thoughts of loneliness, as well as the struggle of living a blue-collar life and work, and what it can feel like to live in a town that has that all around them. My favorite tracks that I would recommend from the LP are the title track, People Watching. I love the song Chin Up, and then Wild Long Lie are extremely good. An honorable mention is one that maybe won't catch you. It's definitely a slower, more acoustic ballad, but it's Remember My Name. And I invite you to go watch the YouTube video for this song in particular and understand the background behind it. But that is Sam Fender's People Watching. Let's get into the next one. The next album I want to recommend to you is from metal band, UK-based metalcore band Architects. I'm actually not as familiar with most of their albums. I haven't been someone who's followed Architects. I've listened to some of their older ones called Hollow Crown and Daybreaker are the ones that come to mind. Those are the ones I'm most familiar with. But I've really been touch and go, listened to some of their songs here and there, but haven't given them a lot of time. But recently, with this new album coming out, and I know for the community, a lot of people shout out the fact that they're bringing some of their old influence back, and it is definitely a lot heavier. And I highly recommend it. My favorite tracks from this album are Whiplash, which it'll probably give you a little bit of that. And then I love the song as well is Black Hole. Super good song, really intense. The music video is absolutely insane. And then Seeing Red just seems like this great metalcore kind of chanting, just kind of this hype song, which is really cool. So I definitely recommend that to you. Let me know your thoughts on that one. All right, the last album I'm going to recommend to you is called House in the Woods. House in the Woods is by Low Roar, which is a folk but kind of a post-rock, experimental, ambient style music band. And they have a slower vibe to it, slower songs. This is definitely an album you can listen to at work. I came into the knowledge of Low Roar from a game called Death Stranding. Death Stranding deals with a lot of concepts of life and death, both from a kind of as an allegory of what it feels like to go through grief and what it feels like to go through loss and to feel lonely, and it kind of relates itself to how we can feel in this digital age. But also from a functional standpoint, it kind of shows what that process looks like. And their music is featured throughout this game, so I kind of checked them out, listened to more of their music. Most of in the game comes from their 2019 album. This one is pretty interesting because it kind of comes full circle. The lead singer Ryan passed away, but he had finished the work, so this is a posthumous album, and it should be featured in the upcoming game that comes out later this year, but I definitely recommend it to you guys. My favorite tracks from this album are going Field of Dreams, Gone Fishing, and of course the title track, House in the Woods. So definitely listen to it, something you can put on at work. But let me know what you think about these recommendations, and thanks for watching this video. Share any of your favorite albums and recommendations you have my way. But I appreciate it. Take care.